how to control ball flight when it's windy, and then we're going to go and do an uphill lie and a downhill lie. Okay, and we're going to understand a little bit about what, like Roger mentioned in the WhatsApp group, and what we talked a little bit about last week, how to get the best strike, and then how to determine where the ball's going to go because of the slope. Okay, but before we do that, it is supposed to get quite windy and has been the last couple of days. So, does anyone have a clue on how to hit the ball flight, make the ball flight go lower?
Back in the stance.
Yep.
Starters.
Good.
Lower follow through, so it's more punchy sort of style.
Okay. Yeah. Why might that one be?
That's a good question. Just it must be the feeling that changes your body to stay more over the ball, I'm assuming. You're sort of finishing
there's definitely an element of that there, but also what it also stops you doing is kind of getting too much speed. Because if we, at the end of the day, the only reason the ball goes higher to do with obviously the loft of the club and the launch and all that kind of thing, but also the backspin. The harder we hit it, the more backspin we're going to get, the more climb we're going to get. So they always say take the spin off of it. You've got to try and hit it softer so the ball doesn't spin too much and go up in the air. That's our nemesis when we're playing in the wind, especially straight into the wind. Not so much today. The wind's off the left a little bit today, so you won't notice it too much. But you know, certainly into wind, if you're hitting pitching wedges and 9-irons, so much spin, the ball can climb up. Myself, sometimes, you know, I played yesterday at Overston, and I think I had 110 yards into the fifth, I think, and I hit a 7-iron because it was just like a tiny little dinky shot, and it just keeps the spin off of it, and it doesn't want to climb, and then yeah, it was all right. So but there's a lot of practice that's involved in it, a lot of trial and error, but you've just got to try and figure it out when it's windy, and it's always windy at Market Harborough, isn't it? Right, so Roger was right.
Sorry, when you're using the driver, do you put the ball a bit higher or something?
Yeah, that's a good one as well. So
you've got to start the game. There's no point using it.
Yeah, so when you're using driver, a lot of people are like, oh, tee it lower. But what that tends to do, especially if you're kind of, you know, you're subconscious, sees a ball that's lower, then you think, I've got to hit down on this to get the ball up. But then hitting down on it makes you get more backspin and it goes higher. But actually, if you do tee it higher and then hit more up on it and hit it slightly softer, it takes the spin off of it and it won't go too high. But obviously that one's a little bit more difficult. There's a few kind of things that we need to think about there. Right, so Rog was right. Ball further back in your stance, kind of a softer half swing. You've got to understand that in itself is going to take yardage off the ball anyway. So you then need to adjust with what club you've got. Right. I'll do an example. I'll put the where did I put the 7-iron over there? So this is going to go probably just over the 100-yard side. I was hoping it'd be more windy than this, but never mind. So I'm going to hit this, it's going to go quite high. Let's see what happens. There we go, just over the 100. Right, so if I was to hit a 7-iron, but try and hit the same yardage as that previous shot, which was a pitching wedge, I'm obviously going to move the ball back in my stance. I might even narrow my stance a little bit as well to stop me going too far back and giving me the kind of balance to do it, because all of a sudden you will lose your balance. So make sure you narrow your stance, the ball's back in your stance, and you're also putting a bit of weight on your left side, okay? And you're not like shifting back this way, you're keeping that weight on the left side all the way through. And then it's a short half a swing, like that, and then watch the difference. I'm hoping I can get this in the landing in the same spot. Not bad. Can you see the difference in the ball flight? So one was like this high and one was up there. And you can use that not only for windy shots, but for getting out of trees as well. Yeah. There's a few things I want you all to start noticing today. Have a little go at, we'll start off with this and hit some wedges, then hit maybe a 7-iron. And just notice a little bit about where the ball starts, what the shape's doing, because there's a few more things we need to talk about on that one. And then we'll go and do some slope stuff. Make sense?
Yep, good.
Perfect. Off you go.